All right. Let's get this going. Woo! What a day. Yet again, it is just, we are every day going through some crazy headlines. Overall, just, we got plenty to cover. It's just astounding. Every single day, there's a new headline, there's a new breakdown. Different stocks are crashing 20, 30%. You have new products coming out from AI companies. I mean, it's just insanity. It's insanity. So we're gonna have some fun today. Like that. Like literally over the past 24 hours, you have Meta delaying their AI launch. You have the CEO of Adobe stepping down. You have the Iran conflict, people freaking out, sanctions being lifted on Russia for the first time in I don't even know how long. Um, like it's becoming to the point where it's just shocking, like literally shocking. Every single day is shocking, and if you're not following it, then this is kind of the place to be. You have to really kind of have, unless you're terminally online, which I am, then it's a little bit hard to follow. So we'll break it all down today. Just a little bit of news on the 330. Dow is down 17 basis points. Nasdaq down 70 basis points. Now, granted, yesterday the market was down a good point and a half. Right? That's pretty significant. We actually started up about 1% at 9:30 in terms of the QQQ, but we broke down. So that's just where we are. We're gonna check on our Reddit stocks. So EONR, which is like a natural gas supplier, craziness thing is up 3x since the war started. Currently sitting at $1.48. We were looking at it back in October, actually. It got down to about 50 cents. So, I mean, this is a pretty significant stock. The other stocks to take a look at, we'll do a quick rundown of what happened to a few different companies. Number one, Adobe. What happened with Adobe? Adobe has been under some intense fire. Why? A few different reasons. Number one, hold up. Let me pull it up. Number one, the SaaS apocalypse, as people are calling it, everybody's basically saying, like, you can create any SaaS, whether or not you believe that or not. I certainly do to an extent. But Adobe is getting crushed. I think Adobe actually has a lot of opportunity in this. So this could be a moment of Meta, which we're going to get into, back in 2021, pivoting, going into something and having turmoil in their executive management. But last night, earnings came out. They actually beat their earnings. They're growing as a business, and yet the stock is down, I think, over 50% since November. Yeah, since September it was at 584. It's currently at 250. So 55%. Their founder of the company, who's been CEO, is it the founder? I think it's the founder. Let's just make sure before I go. Longtime CEO. So he's not the founder, but he's been the CEO for 18 years. 18 years. Adobe CEO steps down. Stock plummets more than 6.5%. Now, just to put it in perspective, I mean, seriously, since December. Oh no, look at that. Oh no, we're 384. So we're down 33%. So down 33%. This is part of the quote unquote SaaS apocalypse, where people are arguing that multiples are compressing due to increasing competition and the availability of tooling systems that create software much faster, easier, better. And just to put in perspective, the CEO, if that's 18 years ago, that was 2008. If I'm not mistaken. So 2008, I mean, the stock was at $24. So this guy brought it up 10x, did an amazing job as CEO, and is stepping away. There is no successor. Okay, so that's really what people are like kind of freaking out about. There's no successor. He's just stepping down. So, is it because of AI and the way that they're approaching it, or he doesn't know and just feels overwhelmed? I mean, that could be the case, right? He did his term. He's like, I'm good, dude. This is way too fast paced for me. So something to definitely keep an eye out is Adobe. The one thing I do think that people might be missing, and you might want to look for, like some of the things that I'm going to be watching for Adobe specifically, is number one, executive management. They're going to bring in somebody who's good. Number two, they have one of the largest distributions, and they're growing out of any company in the world. So alongside Microsoft is an operating system. You could argue Microsoft is the top of the top alongside Google, et cetera, et cetera. But Adobe also has amazing distribution opportunities. So I think what you're probably likely going to see is Adobe go into acquisition phase of things, and or start offering better products. I mean, the fact of the matter, though, is that I think there's going to be new players that come in, and Adobe needs to be aware of that, and they are likely going to go to acquisition phases because their revenue and their cash flow is so good. It makes sense for them to go invest and do strategic investments and acquire companies that are going to be putting them out of business. So very, very clear. They have a massive opportunity here. And it's very important as we talk about these SaaS companies that they have a massive opportunity, and it's their game to lose by not working towards it, by not stripping it all down and building it back up, because that's what's going to happen, and you're going to see more and more of it. DocuSign, I just kind of just popped up in my head. Let's see where that is. Fact of the matter is that this is like, I mean, insanity, but this basically has been since January. I mean, we're down a good 20%. This is still operating at $10 billion market cap. I do not know why anyone in the next 5 years will be using DocuSign. I would not be surprised if they get acquired and this company goes away over time. There's no real reason. Like, their margins will compress. I'm not sure what this company does outside of just signing paperwork, which, there's plenty of. It's very easy to recreate. But the last thing I want to talk into and just jump right into it before we get into kind of the Iran conversation. I know that I put that first, but is Meta. Meta announced their delay of their of their model, of their foundational model, to compete with Anthropic and Gemini and Grok, et cetera, et cetera. It is very clear that Meta is losing the AI race. It's very, very clear. And it's only getting more and more competitive. And they spent so much money they tried to strip away all the important architectures, and you see them buying Moltbook, right? Like they're grasping, they're grasping for air in this AI space. This is reminiscent of July of 2021 when Meta goes and tries to become this virtual reality company. And they're continuously pivoting based on all their massive cash flows. Now, that's good. However, they're quickly seeing that they are mediocre at being a foundational AI system. And it's quickly being seen that the people that they hired are still not as good as, say, Claude or Anthropic. Even Gemini, right? Gemini is hand in hand. Grok, slightly, moving downwards, but still operating at the same-ish level. They just stripped their entire company. So it's very, very clear. In my opinion, Meta is a massive short. Not financial advice, but this is something that we're looking into. Probably will take a big position early next week. Their foundational model, social media as a whole, I think people, it might be my age specifically, but look at this. It's down 6% on the day, just given their delay in the model. But they tried to brand it as an AI company, and they're losing badly. It's not like they're losing. We talk about this 60-day development cycle for Gemini catching up to Claude and OpenAI, that like this kind of rat race of foundational models and products that they're providing. They're not even close. They're not even like we're not even the same ballpark. So like they haven't released anything. They spent a whole bunch of money that no one really knows what's going on. And the fact of the matter is that they're all like these very quickly growing foundational companies like Anthropic and OpenAI. They're burning money. So they're getting multiples based on their growth story, but Meta's also very large, right? Like, for example, Google isn't getting the same type of energy or investment or, just generally as, say, Anthropic, because Google is at $3.64 trillion, Anthropic is at 384 now, or 85 billion. You could argue Anthropic it should be at a trillion or 1.5 trillion, but they are winning. And they're winning with a much more, so it doesn't make sense. Like, why would you invest in one of these software companies when you have the other ones which are doing so much more, like 10 times more things and better products and shipping so fast that you don't even know what's going on. They're not shipping crap either. They're shipping real real things that are impacting the way that people go do their day to day, and literally putting out startups out of business every single time they launch a new product. Like, this is the story back in the day when it was like, oh, why doesn't Google just go do that? Right? But now it's Anthropic. And the only thing that Anthropic doesn't have is the subject matter expertise on specific industries. Like, they're very keenly focused on generalized intelligence, and the only thing that they haven't stepped their foot into, which they're leaning on their partners. You see, Anthropic is actually building out their partner network that are their key use case of Claude. So it seems to be very clear that Anthropic is not moving towards one second. One second, I'm going to finish my thought, but it's very clear that Anthropic is I'm just going through stuff. Oh gosh, that's funny. I'm just reading a family group chat. We're saying it's very clear that Anthropic is not currently setting its eyes on very specific subject matter expertise platforms. Separately, I think the things that we're seeing on AI tooling and the way that things are being distributed to businesses are strictly through relationship management. So outside of coding applications, the ability to go into a company and use AI and automate your systems, et cetera, are being like, they're human-to-human interactions first. People aren't going out and doing generalized, like, oh, I'm just going to pick an AI company or an AI like agent and like go use that. Like, no one really knows how to use it. Therefore, it's only human interactions which are driving the adoption of some of these things within the enterprise. So that's number one. Anyways, I'm going to get off my box here. But yeah. Anyways, Google is in the race. Meta is not. Meta is getting absolutely crushed today, down 4% and literally dropping every second that we talk. So, I'm not the bearer of bad news on some of this. Like, it's not a SaaS play. They pivoted and they lost play, and they are losing play. And arguably, for those that are on social media and looking to go off and on social media, a lot of people that I know, just like alcohol, are stopping to use social media. Like, you're very, very. It's almost like it's gone too far. Like, it's gone way too far, and like you're setting up kid safe like environments and things like that. So they're starting to like split things up. Like, we're starting to see cracks because people are just stepping away and saying, this is too much. It's way too much. Like, there's so much going on in the world. You're seeing people go back to church. You're seeing people, like, all of these different things. There seems to be some movement outside of quote-unquote vices, like social media, which I think a lot of people would agree that is probably the biggest drug in the world right now, is social media, short-form content, things like that. It's very addictive. I don't know if there's, like, an actual addictive like study on social media and the use of it, but it has to be there. It has to be there. Like, it's just so, it's like crack. You're like going and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm just going to watch it for 4 hours. And then taking away and then re-downloading it. And then, like you just go through this kind of phase of things. Maybe I'm projecting, but I think a lot of people resonate with this. So anyways, I think social media platforms in general, you're seeing X, you're seeing, so like they're starting to show cracks. Like, it's too much. People are taking a step back. I think there's going to be more kind of guardrails. You're seeing a more conservative kind of upbringing of people. I'm short Meta at this point. You could argue the entire market, but I just see there's bigger down. Like, there's plenty of upside in the market, and you just don't know the timing of it. And I'm not looking to time it, but I think you can argue that when a company makes a pivot and they're losing that pivot to competitors and they spend as much as Meta just spent, then the downside is high, and the downside in a bad environment is even higher, and the downside on a good environment is still bad. So you're still winning on that. Anyways, separately, Bitcoin not doing too bad. 71. It hit 74 today. So the war is definitely propping up digital assets, just given the fact that you can have access to your bank account during a wartime. Separately, I think this is a good like matriculation point. Whatever, we're gonna go into the Iran conflict here. Holy crap! I mean, like, this. It just seems like a disaster. This is so far and so different than Venezuela, where we went in and out within a couple days, right? And I think we got a little cocky there. Dude, we are at a point where there is some serious, crazy happenings with Iran, specifically with sanctions on Russia just getting taken off. Like, like oil sanctions. We'll take a look at this. We're lifted. Like, we're literally like, the Ukraine-Russia war is like, okay, we're just gonna like put that to the side. Now we're at Iran. The U.S. So the 19 hours ago, U.S. Treasury will officially authorize sale of crude oil from Russia, bypassing sanctions. Guys, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Oil goes up to $90. Everyone freaks out. The Strait of Hormuz is like the what it seems to be the inflection point. It seems to be the inflection point of everybody else stepping in, and it also seems, and I'm getting a lot of like these texts about like, why are we here, and even Pete Hegseth said that a lot of this is being driven by Israeli conflict, and I'm not saying like Pete Hegseth. Oh my gosh, but like, let's just see the quote here. Like, I think a lot of people needed to address, like, Trump, I think, needs to address the public. Yeah, the only thing prohibiting transit in Hormuz right now is Iran shooting at shipping. It is open for transit should Iran not do that. So, like, this is the inflection point. Like, everybody, all the outside counterparties went, okay, wait, hold on. You can't shut that down. That's like number one. Like, nobody else has done that. I want to see. So, I mean, we're gonna kind of go into where this is the outlook for the more overall political market. I can't express how poorly everyone is receiving this war. Like, every single person I speak to is saying we're underestimating the capabilities of Iran. Like, that's just that literally that's all I'm hearing from people old and young. And I think that at the end of the day, that if everybody agrees, then there's something there's and I believe 2,500 Marines just got activated. They're going to go try to secure the coastline of Iran. Here we go. So the Pentagon moving expeditionary unit to Middle East as Iran steps up attacks on the Strait of Hormuz. According to two U.S. officials, expedition units typically consist of 2,500 Marines. Pentagon deploying up to 5,000 Marines to the Middle East. Guys, I mean, like, this is it. Like, the second that boots hit the ground, we've already seen this. Like, boots hit the ground, this is a year-long conflict. And this is not a year-long conflict of just the Middle East. This is bringing the entire world into it because it's impacting energy prices everywhere. It also seems like that when we did what we are doing and with Israel and this kind of conflicting signals between Israel and these are all headlines, so it's very hard to like parse it through. But the headlines of Israel striking, key infrastructure, oil infrastructure, and then outside of that is that it doesn't seem like any of the surrounding counterparties knew what was going on. Like, it just happened. So all this to say that the American population and we're going to pull up a few of these I'll pull them up now. A few polls, of course there's polls, but the poly market right now is suggesting that we're going to have a complete flip of the Senate over to Democrats. Like, it's very strange to me that they would put the midterm in, like, it's very odd. It's just all very odd. It's very odd. Basically, it's like everyone's like, this is it. Like, there's no one is understanding really, like, the intent behind this. And not only that, but it's almost like we're sitting here in a very, very vulnerable position, given the fact that we're basically saying to our enemies, "Hey, open up your markets now," and we're putting out TikTok videos on the White House page, and it's like, what is going on? Like, where are we at? The markets are still very high, by the way. It's not like the markets are like, like they haven't crashed. Like, we are very, very doing quite well at the moment. You could argue, and you could put your own bets that where we're going from here, but like, it's still the market's doing pretty well. Now, the other aspect behind this is that people are talking about the Fed not cutting rates because inflation is now increasing, and this is what it is. I wonder what if I actually said this, stagflation. This is I know for a fact that I've said this. I wonder when. Like, this almost very clearly shows a situation where, like, we have. God, so bad with my typing today. We're seeing little job growth. We're seeing increased prices across the board. We're seeing they're saying no rate cut in this upcoming meeting. Like, this is stagflation, where you see increasing prices yet no growth in real wages. So what does that mean? That means that the consumer sentiment, you're not going to see people buying things. You're not going to see discretionary spending. You're going to be seeing delinquency rates. Like, you're just going to see things start cracking. And where are we at? Like that is where we're headed to if we continue this. And it seems to be very clear that the Iran conflict is not going to calm down anytime soon. He's like, oh, any day now. Iran's like, yeah, okay. And then we blow this guy's leg off, and we expect them to make a deal again. And it's like, guys, come on. Like, what are we doing? Anyways, let's continue onwards. Let's just look. I have some good stuff. Oil is the new oil. Charts of the week. Everyone becomes an expert at oil prices. The searches for oil prices as at a all-time high. All-time high. There are. I wonder what the poly market for gas prices in the United States is at. I do want to note that we will be going to Indexify at 4 p.m. Very interesting thing that we made yesterday was an agent that will create a portfolio at 4 p.m. every day with what we were doing, which was combining small caps in a basket format for you to invest in. So it's something that we automated and using our API and a new CLI that we created for agents. So by the end of March, 375 is the average. $5 is at 13 cents, so 1 in 10 odds. 425 is also coming up. So, gosh, I mean, it doesn't look it looks pretty bad, given the fact that there's a 50% chance of 425, which means that they're saying oil is going to be 20% higher than what it is currently today. So, jeez Louise. In other we'll go a little bit into New York news. I will say, given the crazy just unrest with this war and just like how people are perceiving two different parties. One is Muslim people and one is Jewish people. I'm just going to straight up say that there's two. Those are the two parties that are going head to head right now. And the fact that Mamdani is the mayor of New York City, where there's a massive Jewish population, as somebody who lives in New York, I think everybody is kind of sitting here and saying, whoa, okay. There is definitely a risk to these types of places where we all should be living in peace. But in Mamdani, for all his policies and whatever, I have no qualms with either party here, for any religion, for that matter. But for him to make sweeping changes in New York during this period of time, regardless of his stance or his policies, whether or not you agree with them or not agree with them, or whether or not they're actually going to get passed, they're going to cause controversy. And the moment that New York becomes an epicenter of either riots or social unrest, is the second that all of this goes downhill. A terrorist act in a major city or anything like that, you're going to see. I don't think that there aren't a lot of people that wouldn't be in the street protesting whatever we're doing as a nation. Across in a different pond, given it. So, anyways, all that to say, Zohran Mamdani is proposing to raise the New York estate tax to 50% and have it kick in at $750,000 instead of $7 million. Again, this is just it's an attack on a specific party. It's the wealthy, and again, this is just it's a controversial topic. Last week there were bombs thrown at the mayor's home, right? So, for those who are in New York, this is certainly something to take a look at. All right, 4 p.m. All right, we're gonna move over from crazy chaos in the markets, just overall unrest, and we are going to move to the AI phase of our talk today. Number one, we're going to check at 401 if our agent did, in fact, make the portfolio that we are looking for. But number one, interesting new application out, which is the ability to get a funded account, which is typically for perps or deep liquidity markets, to trade meme coins. Looks like there was $45 million in challenge accounts, which I believe, if we just think about the amount of, you can get up to 100,000. So, what is that? 4,000 people signed up for this? 4,500 people? Oh, yeah. 4,500? Oh, 450 people. Okay. 400 people, 50. Okay, hold up. 1, 2, yeah. I mean, okay, 450 people. This got a little bit of traction yesterday in the Solana community, but so they had 450 people sign up for their app. Good for them. It's a cool idea. There's a lot of people saying that they can manipulate the crap out of this, and I believe it probably will. But let's move into the agent side of things. Oh, sorry. Last thing is, looks like Backpack is TGing on March 23rd. Very, very interesting way of their tokenization event to be on the 23rd. I mean, like, we're in the middle of a worldwide conflict. Token valuations are at all-time low relative to cycles. They're basically betting that this is the bottom or near the bottom. So good for Backpack. But all right, we're going to go into a little bit of agents. Let's go take a look at Indexify right now. We're going to go look at 4 p.m. every day. Set your timers. 4 p.m. every day. There will be a new portfolio made. So let's take a look. Here it is. Black Calm. We should really make this into a thing. Heavy Pulp, Clued, Madcoin, Valor, and Solberg. This was made just a moment ago. The prompt is here. Auto-generated daily stack of the top-performing Solana tokens, 250K to 2 million by 24-hour price change. So now you can follow an account that will do this every single day at 4 times a day. Now, yesterday's, these are test ones, so we'll see how these perform. But overall, our backtesting performance for these stacks are pretty good. So it's nice to have this automated, this specific strategy. So every day at 4 p.m., this will create it. It's using our API, which any agent can access and automate. I think one of the things that we're thinking through as Indexify is what is the next generation of trading tools? And like where are we headed? It is very clearly obvious that abstracted complexity is the name of the game for investing. Why do I say that? The more simple platform for trading with deep liquidity is Robinhood. It has much less features than, say, a typical trading interface for a expert level trader. However, what it has done very well is extrapolate and take away all the complexities and really give the user the bare minimum to make a decision on something. It also provides liquidity for the markets and availability of a lot of different assets. But I think the one item here is, and I think you're saying it, is the ability for people to set their trading theses and their intent without all the complexities. So, for example, if I want to DCA into Bitcoin and the module itself, or like, for example, we don't have a DCA button for everything, but you should be able to just do that, right? You should be able to just say, I want to DCA into Bitcoin. And it just goes and does it. Right? I think that's what everybody really wants. Oh, I have a strategy. Okay, tell me about the strategy. Here's the strategy. Okay, I'll go do it. Because at the end of the day, UI UXs are just a way for you to implement your strategy or thoughts or your theses on trading. So as we Indexify as a platform grows and we mature onwards, and we're very methodical with how we think about moving forward with the interfaces, is that abstracting the complexities of trading is going, and hopefully our intent is that people go and make money, is the aim of the game. It's the long term. I want to go buy XYZ. I want to go set up a strategy. I want to do anything, and it allows you to do it. I think that's the next step of these systems, and how we think about the evolution of trading and the evolution of how people interact with any system, not only trading. So I think you'll see developments on that in the coming weeks, months, years. But that is definitely something that is on the forefront of our minds, is intent-based natural language processing that abstracts away pretty much any level of complexity and allows you to do it. So that means, when Trump tweets, yada, 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 do I buy or sell Bitcoin? And things like that. So that's what we're focused on. I think it's that is the future of the markets. Now let's just take a look at. So number one, it's up 2.5%. Let's take a look at our previous cohorts. So we are down a good bit on AI cohort 33. However, this was cooking yesterday. Yeah, it did go up to $1.20. So it looks like Clawbot did very well. Mustard, Top G, I mean, all of these did very poorly. Now, these are older coins. So I think one of the parameters that we want to update is that we don't want to pull coins that are, well, actually, no, this is Jelly Bean. Looks okay. We're just going to be continuously updating to get the best performance possible. So this one didn't do very well. Let's see the other ones, though. AI cohort 19 is up 46%. AI cohort 18 is up 39%. 32 is up 5%. Now, what caused these? I think also too, there's less tokens. Like, there's less overall trading activity. Brainlet is up. Wow, Life of this one was cooking yesterday. This is what's dragging down the portfolios. That's what it is. Yeah, this was at 0.02. We're currently at 0.0005. So this is down a good 50%. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that just shows you what's going on. Yeah, this one yesterday, this was up quite a bit. We did take a little bit off of our freaking limit order, but that is the case. Now, let's just take a look at the top crypto on the day. What? Whoa. Hold up. Trump meme coin is up 30% on the day? Excuse me? I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked. Like, what is going on Twitter? I mean, first of all, what is going on Twitter? But, like, why is this? Oh my gosh! No way. Oh, I mean, guys. In the middle of a goddamn war. Is Trump going to be there? Oh. What timeline is this? Like, literally, what timeline is this? I'm actually disgusted. I'm literally freaking disgusted. This is craziness. This is insane. Meanwhile, this was announced when? When was this announced? Oh, March 12th. Oh my God. It's actually disgusting. This is actually, I don't agree with this. This is like, oh my gosh. It's just like a bad taste in your mouth. Disappointing. Very disappointing. Like, dude, I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to think about this. It's embarrassing as a populace that this is our president. I don't disagree with a lot of his policies. Like, I'm not saying that, but like, it is just, you see things like this and you're like, what? On the day, so we do have some of these. Oh, Rent a Human. We didn't actually cover that one. Rent a Human. You can go rent a human to go. An agent can go rent a human to go do different tasks. Wow. Agent pad. Yeah, these are pretty low market cap coins. Let's just we will. We'll move this up to 250 and let's just see if volume. Market cap. Wow, Anduril had quite a day of volume, $2.3 million in volume on chain. That's actually pretty significant. Very significant. Heavy Pulp, really killing it today. SpaceX looks like another tokenized SpaceX. Hype is still at 36.7. So here are the top ones. Now let's just take a look at commodities here. Oh, gold is down on the day. Okay. Got it. Stocks. Let's take a look at on-chain stocks. Whoa. Chevron? No, it's down on the day. Why is... you know what? This just shows you. Probably low liquidity on this particular token, so just be careful if anybody's doing this. But 264. Either there's a massive arbitrage between the two, which is probably not the case, or just low liquidity. You know, we definitely want to provide as much assets as possible, but you still have to know what you're doing with the on-chain world. Gold, obviously, I think Meta stock down a good 3%, 4%. So as on-chain grows, this will certainly change, but yeah, definitely still low liquidity. Now, in terms of Stack Wars, let's see where we're at. Whoa, everybody's up. Everybody's up. Markets are down, but our competitors are up. Who's leading this? Wow, Stacky. I'll tell you what. Good for Stacky. Combination of Alphabet stock, Microsoft stock, Meteora pump, and triple leverage Sol. Wow, this is great portfolio. It's capitalizing on mainly the probably the triple leverage Sol is definitely putting in quite a lot of up 8%. Meteora up 7.6%. Pump is down 3%, even though it's launching its agent abilities. But overall, nice job to White Happy 15480 Stacky. Now, just a little bit of an update. Looks like Pump.Fun is allowing for agentic tokens to be launched. So basically tokenizing business models. So automatic buybacks, basically saying, hey, if you want to copy Pump's tokenomics, you can do it here, where the revenue from things basically buys back the token, which is pretty cool. So that's the kind of the next step for Elon here, and that is the case. Now, Hims was also. I wonder where Hims is at. They were saying that. 3.4%, 3.9% overall on the day. Hims basically crashed out. They were doing pretty well, I guess, in 2025. They announced that GLP-1s would be sold on Hims on the app. So definitely just like a change in the availability of products, but basically making GLP-1s available worldwide. Now I think GLP-1s, like you can get them for like $200 a month, right? So definitely becoming commoditized. I guess 2 or 3 years in to this experiment. Who knows how people are gonna look 20, 30 years from now? But who knows? Just looking at I'm just looking at some of the headlines today. I can't stress the fact that I think Meta is. Shout out to Emmett on that one. Let's just go through some of these headlines today. If there's anything that's come up. The 10-year note is now up 35 basis points since the Iran war in February 28th. While gas prices are rising, mortgage rates are quickly following. All while rate cuts in 2026 are being priced out. So they're saying they're increasing rates? I'm just going through here. Got it. Okay. All right. So the main reason why the 10-year yield is rising is, if you can imagine that they had priced in multiple price cuts, which means that those with higher yield bearing profiles would go up in price because they have a higher yield. You want to buy things with higher yield if there's the new ones coming out are lower. And then the other part of this is the fact that people are just buying these because of the uncertainty. So they're just like, there's no other place to put cash. This is the only place to put cash. So they're buying the 10-year note. They're also demanding higher compensation. Wow. Oh, it's not. Oh, interesting. Okay, we're just gonna continue. Um. Wow, the 1 year retention rate of crypto is 2 to 4%. That's a crazy metric there. Mobile gaming is 4 to 6. Dating apps is 10 to 15%. Delivery apps 20 to 30. Social media 30 to 45. Music streaming 50 to 65%. Video streaming 60 to 75%. Banking apps 80%. 78%. U.S. Treasury Scott Bessent was recently pulled away from a live interview after being told the president wants to see you right away. God. One of these things. So, Cled AI just raised $5 million at 150 valuation, for a human data marketplace. Uh, there's an increasing narrative right now, which is the purchase or the way that you are going to use LLMs or models or things like that is that you are going to pay for the intelligence that you use. If you want to use certain intelligence that requires high compute, you would then pay for that. So it's this idea where intelligence is being sold like a commodity, like oil. Now, I think this plays into this idea where Cled is saying, hey, there's going to be data that people want or need in order to execute certain actions. And so there needs to be a marketplace for people to monetize their data in a way that they're getting paid for it. So I think this has been done or tried to be done a couple different times. However, it seems like the market wasn't ready for it, or that people could obtain it themselves or a similar type data themselves. So it will be interesting to see how they go to market and how they actually go and achieve what they're trying to do. But it's certainly a big idea. Certainly a big idea. Just going through the feed today. It's just shocking. Interesting. Mert, going to start DCA into the core UAE stocks. Rationale. Okay, this is good. I'll take it. I'll read this. The rationale for DCA into the core UAE stocks. Pressure on the Trump admin to put an end to this as soon as possible. Even if that happens, the global circumstances have shifted. It seems visible that the Gulf countries will slow down investing in U.S. markets after this and reinvest back in their own economies to rebound. Okay. A lot of panic due to online propaganda causing reflexive selling that's detached from reality. Okay. The businesses are generally have very strong cash flow. Long term, the region health should be better, assuming that the USA can achieve some percentage of their goals, but if not, super long drawn out conflict seems very unlikely given the rate of decrease in strikes. Even all this controversial opinion is that this makes the future of the U.S. election super volatile, and in the event of a GOP loss, I think it's more finance shifts towards this region of the world and the East again. The investment in infra in the region is getting more advanced, and the investor base will start to increase, especially as more stocks and stables get tokenized. The core, I love it. Yeah, go ahead. Put the tokenization in there. The core ETF is down 20% on the month. Feels oversold. Okay. I mean, he's basically saying that literally all hinges on the U.S. This conflict wrapping up quickly. Like that, this entire thesis has nothing. Essentially everything says that is the case. Otherwise, no one's moving there. There is no cash flow. There is no nothing. And that's what he's saying. It basically. Yeah, I would be 20%. I don't know if 20% is the right amount. Canada's economy is losing 84,000 jobs in February, driving Canada's employment rate up to 6.7%, and they were expecting a gain. Justin, the U.S. offers 10 million bounties for the top Iranian leaders. Whew. Jeez Louise. One of the major things that Elon has been pressing, and pretty much everybody, is the Save America Act, which is basically the act that says that you need to use a voter ID for voting in any election. Definitely controversy. It's going to the Senate. I don't know who doesn't agree with this. I'm not really sure what the issue is, but voter fraud has always been a thing, will continue being a thing, and it's tough to combat, and the fact that they're putting up a fight against it is it's a little shocking. It's a little shocking. Stanley Druckenmiller says the global payment system will run on crypto stablecoins within 15 years because they're more efficient. Possibly. Wow. Travis Kalanick. Let's see what this is. Oh, Uber. Oh, the founder of Uber. Pretty sure he got kicked out for what? Like sexually harassing people? Vision. I left Uber in 2017, heartbroken. Been torn away from the idea and a movement that I poured my life into. Lost my bearings and found the world increasingly operating by rules and perception, not reality. I guess I'll read this entire thing. Is this like super long? Let's just see. God, just give me a TLDR. Screw it. Give me. I mean, these founders, like, you can't take these for, like, you can't. Yeah, okay. I love it. Okay. So, TLDR of Uber's founder who left in 2017. His vision for his next big thing is Physical automation with specialized, gainfully employed robots to transform industries, drive abundance, and advance civilization against entropy, chaos, if you will. The key pillars: humans seek valuable unknown truths. So organizations that master this acceleration progress. History's next golden age arrives when growing, mining, etc. becomes fully autonomous, no labor needed. Costs drop in raw material, energy, etc. Abundance follows, superhuman efficiency, machines building machines, massive scale productions while humans sleep, etc. I totally agree. Like imagine like you have a robot like working on your house 24/7. You're gonna have the nicest house you've ever seen in your life. It will change third world countries. Like I agree, 100%. Inevitability via Moore's law, compounding AI hardware manufacturing, singularity level intelligence. Remember that's what we've been focused on over the past several weeks is singularity, the point at which AI thinks for itself, and there's really no turning back to AI having access to systems. Land is key. Control of real estate for mining and minerals, energy to fuel physical AI. It's interesting. Digitizing the real world. Understand the current state. Predict the future state. Control the future state. Wow. Okay. Physical tech, AI tech stack spans sensors, compute, AI models, manipulation, manufacturing, real estate, energy, chemistry. Specialized robots are better than humanoids for most high volume industrial tasks. Agreed. You have to. The only thing that you have to have there is just a consistency of environment. Bottom line: atoms build atoms. Atom-based computers. First was food, infrastructure for better, cheaper, automated food via cloud, kitchens, heritage. Interesting. Now mining, production of mines plus transport, robot wheelbase, goal, autonomous physical progression of machines, creating radical abundance. In short, Kalanick, the CEO of Uber, sees physical world AI as the frontier after software, unlocking a post-labor era of extreme efficiency, cheap goods, food, energy, and human progress on steroids. He's all in on specialized robotics and real estate control to make that happen. Okay. I think for the most part, this is all agreeable. I think when you read this as like a, someone who is a layman in this, is a great idea if you have access to billions and billions and billions of capital. And like that's what it is. This man is going to do something crazy because he has access to all of these things and he's going to make it happen. So let's compare the atoms to Tesla vision. I like that. Yeah. Pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. He's basically, going through and saying, here's what I want to do, which is basically Tesla, but specialized machines. That's pretty much it. Huh. Dig.com. Whoa, okay, who are these guys? Who is Dig.com? Does anyone know? Dig.com. Who are these guys? let that cook. Basically, Dig, they went down. They faced an unprecedented bot problem. The internet now is populated in meaningful part by sophisticated AI agents and automated accounts. We knew bots were part of the landscape, but we didn't appreciate the scale, sophistication, or speed at which they find us. We banned tens of thousands of accounts. We deployed internal tooling, industry standard vendors. Nothing was enough. Building social is hard. Incumbents are harder. Underestimated the gravitational pull of existing platforms. What's next? We're not giving up. Dig isn't going away. They basically laid off. They've seen. Yeah, I mean, it's a social media platform for news. I mean, odd. Okay. So no one really knows who they are. They had one on March 6th they have this is like a botted account. It's a completely botted account. They're like, "Oh, we got hit by bots," but their entire thing is bots. What is the okay. Anyways, we're going to continue onwards. I'm not sure who cares, but okay. Whoa. Okay, Jake Paul just did a interview. Let's watch it. Let's watch this thing.
Yeah, it's an honor. We're here at a factory doing a rally. It's my first rally, and it's actually my first show on this podcast. So you're going to be my first and last
that's
guest.
good. Well, we're going to have to get good ratings.
We got to get some good ratings.
better.
You were flying in on Air Force One.
Right.
Is it true that you watched the Joshua fight on Air Force One?
I watched it. I watched you, and I thought you were very brave. He's a pretty big guy. He's good. And he's legit. Look, he's a legitimate fighter. And I thought you were great. You did yourself no harm.
No.
Other than your chin, maybe.
Other than the jaw, which is healing. How big is the TV on Air Force One?
Good. It's good. It's good. The best you can have, I tell you. They view it as cost is no object, right? But it was good. I got to see that. I really watched it. We had a whole plane full of people watching you. And if size mattered, then I said he's going to be in trouble. And they say it matters.
I got into the ring with him, and I realized he was much bigger than I thought.
You didn't see that at the weigh-in?
No, not at the weigh-in, not at the press conference. And then I got in the ring. I just saw his size, and I was just like, okay, this is going to be a tough night.
So who do you fight next?
It's a good question. I think Francis.
Would you ever fight him again? No.
No, I don't think so. I think I need to go stay at my weight class.
I think so, right?
Maybe doing some MMA. We're promoting fights now. On Netflix, we got Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. Maybe Usyk in MMA. Francis Ngannou, Ryan Garcia.
All right, I think
maybe Tommy Fury.
Generally speaking, we can continue on.
There's a lot of
I was in this magazine so much. I'm looking at that. They're usually the most lucrative too, even in business. When you hit it, it's a bigger hit. But like I just said, I'm going to do it. I was thinking about it for so long, and sometimes people would say, like, you ought to do it, or don't talk about it. My wife actually said, do it, or don't talk about it. I'd watch these guys, and like at debates, I say, I could kill him. I mean, that guy's nothing, like you. That guy's nothing.
Yeah.
And I said, I could, there's no way he could beat me in a debate. And she said, all right, so do it, or don't do it, but don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And I actually said, I wasn't sure if I liked that too much. But she would actually say, our first lady is now a movie star, okay? So on top of everything else, she's now first lady and a movie star. A movie is the #1 movie, can you believe it? But she'd say, do it or don't do it. It's okay, but don't talk about it. And if you do it, you're going to win. You know that, don't you? I said, no. If you do it, you're going to win. But do it or don't do it. It's okay. Either way is okay.
Yeah.
So you have to do it. And like you said, you have that little bug, and it is a bug. You know, being a politician, it is a bug. I think there was nothing like in history when I won the first time. You know, that was the most unbelievable thing. And then coming back, some people would say it was bigger than the first time. I got cheated, and the second I did great. It's like somebody cheated.
All right, guys, come on. Let's continue onwards. Where's the Iran war? That's the real question. Let's just see. I mean, is anyone like they're just gonna talk about nothing the entire time?
So try picking something.
I want to see the Iran war. I assume this is probably the best clip.
My generation, I think, is in a weird place with like going to school, getting jobs. AI is coming. Give any advice to my generation of people of where to go, where to look, what jobs, manufacturing, how can they get more active and get more opportunities in front of them?
So you know this better than anybody. Because I get this question a lot. What do you do?
Yeah.
You always have to find something you love doing.
Yeah.
Like, I tell people their father wants them to go into business and he hates the business, and you know the father's successful, they're pushing the son. You've got to do something you like, or you're just not going to be successful at it if you don't. With that being said, try and like something that's where there's a future. Like the hot thing right now is AI.
Yeah.
If you know the AI thing, you're going to get an unbelievable, crazy job at ridiculous numbers you never thought of. That could cool off. Maybe it's going to cool off, but right now. So if you like computers and all of that, it's not a bad thing. Go into an industry. There are some industries. Retailing's always tough. There are some industries that are tough. If you love it, do it. But if you can love something where it's got a lot of potential, you're much better off doing that. I have friends that are really smart. They went into businesses that are very, very tough. And they lost. I mean, they work. They're smarter than other people I know, but they're in the wrong industry.
Yeah.
If they were in the right industry, they'd do much better. So try picking something that's got potential, and you have to love what you do.
Yeah. Made in the U.S.
All right, good advice. I guess there's nothing of note here. So this is a big Reddit account. You think the market knows Meta makes all of their revenue from selling ads, not farming avocados. 4% sell off for a total of 16 or 17% this past month is too much. They got it at 33% year-over-year growth as a $1.5 trillion company. So it's definitely working. I'm just going through the comments right now. I would love to see. Is there any good? I mean, I want to take a position on here, but like Meta's only down 3% year to date. So like, it's not like there's like any crazy things happening. All right, so basically, zero. Everybody says bye. Wow. They're spending 115 to 135 billion dollars this year on AI infrastructure. Um, Pull together granular data or make a quick DCF. Yeah, make a DCF. Yeah, you go on some of these AI platforms and you're like, oh, like, this is what I thought it was like a week ago, and then you go on and you're like, oh no, this is like a completely different animal, like completely different. Let's take a look. Let's see what it does. All right, so it just did a DCF of the of Facebook. So they're assuming. Whoa. Okay. DCF is far below 600. So like, what are we talking about here? Calendar year is $35 million free cash flow, 6% steady. So valuation math, 206 billion, terminal value 370, 1.4 billion, enterprise value about 671 billion. Present value. Okay, got it. Gosh. What are these saying? What is like how far away is this Meta? Like when did all these come out and say like there's zero people saying to sell Meta stock. Everyone's maintaining $800, $900. So there's like a clear disconnect. What are analysts saying about Adobe? Zero people are saying to sell Meta stock, yet Meta stock is currently in a free fall. So, like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, what is? So Adobe's at 250, and Jefferies, BMO, Goldman Sachs were all at hold, market performance, and sell. So all right, like a key differential between them. Wow, Tick Nerd, what is this? Stop. I just want to see this. So basically it's been trading for a long time at its low target. So are people over, like, this doesn't make any sense at all. Interesting. All right. Well, with that, let's just take a look at the most recent AI cohort, or the up 3%. Nice. Good stuff. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. This thing is cooking. All right, guys. Well, what another day, another dollar. Let's thank God for the weekend. As always, call your mom, say hello, and make sure that you're, given all this uncertainty, what's going on. I think it's important to, take a step back and look at the long-term growth story. And I think, we're in a great environment overall. Hopefully, as we come out of this Iran situation, hopefully soon, that we will, be able to grow throughout it. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day.